Preparing for an electrical inspector exam involves several key strategies. Firstly, thoroughly review the National Electrical Code, also known as the NEC. Focus on Articles 90.0, 100.0, 110.0, 210.0, and any sections specific to 1 and 2 family dwellings. Secondly, use official study materials. Obtain the Wisconsin Uniform Dwelling Code, also known as the UDC, and any supplementary materials provided by the state. Thirdly, take practice tests. Practice tests help to identify areas where improvement is needed and improve test-taking strategies. Fourthly, join a study group. Collaborate with others who are preparing for the same exam to share knowledge and support. Fifthly, consider an exam preparation course. Courses can provide structured guidance, practice questions, and expert insights. Regarding test-taking strategies, firstly, read instructions carefully. Make sure the exam format, time limits, and marking scheme are understood. Secondly, manage time wisely. Allocate time based on the importance and difficulty of each question. Thirdly, answer all questions. Even if the answer is not known, guess intelligently. Fourthly, don't overthink. If there is uncertainty about an answer, move on and come back to it later. Fifthly, review the answers. Take a few minutes at the end to review the responses and make any necessary corrections. Further additional tips are available. Firstly, familiarize yourself with the Wisconsin UDC. Understand the scope and enforcement of the code. Secondly, research local ordinances. There may be additional requirements specific to the local jurisdiction. Thirdly, attend industry events. Network with other inspectors and stay updated on industry trends. Fourthly, stay organized. Keep study materials and notes well organized for easy reference. Fifthly, don't procrastinate. Start preparing early and follow a consistent study schedule. Recommended resources include electrical exam preparation materials, the Wisconsin Department of Safety and Professional Services, the International Association of Electrical Inspectors, and the National Fire Protection Association. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, is a comprehensive document that outlines the standards for safe electrical installations. It's updated every 3 years, so ensure the most current version is being used for studying. Articles 90.0, 100.0, and 110.0 cover general requirements, definitions, and requirements for electrical installations. Article 210.0 specifically deals with branch circuits, which are essential for understanding residential wiring. The Wisconsin Uniform Dwelling Code, or UDC, provides specific regulations for 1 and 2 family dwellings in Wisconsin. It's crucial to understand this code thoroughly, as it's the primary reference for inspections in the state. Practice tests are invaluable for assessing readiness. They simulate the exam environment and help identify weak areas. When taking practice tests, pay attention to the types of questions asked, the time it takes to answer each question, and the areas where mistakes are consistently made. A study group can provide a supportive environment for learning. Members can share notes, quiz each other, and discuss difficult concepts. Look for study groups online or through local electrical associations. Exam preparation courses offer structured learning and expert guidance. These courses are typically taught by experienced instructors who are familiar with the exam content. They often include practice questions, mock exams, and test-taking strategies. Carefully read the exam instructions before starting. Understand the format of the exam, the types of questions asked, the time allotted for each section, and the scoring system. This will help to manage time effectively and avoid any surprises. Time management is critical during the exam. Allocate time to each question based on its difficulty and point value. Don't spend too much time on any one question and move on if you're stuck. Answer all questions, even if you're unsure of the answer. There's usually no penalty for guessing, so an educated guess is better than leaving a question blank. Avoid overthinking questions. The first answer that comes to mind is often the correct one. If you're unsure, make a note of the question and come back to it later. Before submitting the exam, take a few minutes to review answers. Look for any obvious mistakes or omissions. Make sure all questions have been answered and that the answers are clearly marked. The Wisconsin UDC outlines specific requirements for electrical installations in 1 and 2 family dwellings. Be familiar with these requirements, including wiring methods, grounding, overcurrent protection, and appliance installation. Local ordinances may impose additional requirements beyond those specified in the Wisconsin UDC. Check with the local building department to determine if there are any local amendments to the code. Attending industry events such as conferences and workshops is a great way to stay updated on the latest trends and technologies in the electrical industry. These events also provide opportunities to network with other inspectors and learn from their experiences. Staying organized is essential for effective studying. Keep notes, textbooks, and other study materials in a designated place. Use a planner or calendar to schedule study sessions and track progress. Don't procrastinate. Start studying early and follow a consistent study schedule. This will help to avoid feeling overwhelmed and ensure there's enough time to cover all the material. In addition to the resources mentioned earlier, consider using online forums and discussion boards to ask questions and get help from other electrical professionals. These forums can be a valuable source of information and support. Electrical inspector exams typically cover a wide range of topics, including the National Electrical Code, the Wisconsin Uniform Dwelling Code, electrical theory, wiring methods, grounding, overcurrent protection, and appliance installation. Review each of these topics thoroughly. The National Electrical Code is organized into chapters, articles, and sections. Familiarize yourself with the structure of the code and how to find information quickly. Pay close attention to the definitions in Article 100.0, as these definitions are used throughout the code. Understand the requirements for wiring methods such as non-metallic sheet cable, metallic conduit, and underground wiring. Be familiar with the different types of grounding systems and the requirements for grounding electrodes. Know the requirements for overcurrent protection, including fuses, circuit breakers, and ground fault circuit interrupters. Understand the requirements for appliance installation, including refrigerators, ranges, washing machines, and dryers. When studying the National Electrical Code, focus on the sections that are most relevant to 1 and 2 family dwellings. These sections include Article 210.0, branch circuits, Article 220.0, branch circuit, feeder, and service calculations, Article 230.0, services, Article 250.0, grounding and bonding, Article 300.0, wiring methods, Article 310.0, conductors for general wiring, Article 314.0, outlet, device, pull and junction boxes, conduit bodies, fittings, and hand-tool enclosures, Article 320.0, armored cable type AC, Article 330.0, metal-clad cable type MC, Article 334.0, non-metallic sheath cable type NM, type NMC, and type NMS, Article 400.0, flexible cords and cables, Article 404.0, switches, Article 406.0, receptacles, cord connectors, and attachment plugs caps, Article 408.0, switchboards and panel boards, Article 410.0, luminaires, lamp holders, and lamps, Article 422.0, appliances, Article 430.0, motors, motor circuits, and controllers, Article 440.0, air conditioning and refrigerating equipment, Article 547.0, agricultural buildings, Article 550.0, mobile homes, manufactured homes, and mobile home parks, Article 551.0, recreational vehicles and recreational vehicle parks, Article 680.0, swimming pools, fountains, and similar installations, and Article 700.0, emergency systems. The Wisconsin UDC includes specific requirements for energy conservation, accessibility, and fire safety. Be familiar with these requirements. Energy conservation requirements address insulation levels, window and door efficiency, and lighting controls. Accessibility requirements ensure that dwellings are accessible to people with disabilities. Fire safety requirements address smoke alarms, carbon monoxide detectors, and fire-resistant construction. During the exam, read each question carefully and identify the key information. Underline or highlight important words or phrases. Eliminate incorrect answer choices. If unsure of the answer, try to eliminate one or two incorrect choices. This will increase the odds of selecting the correct answer. Don't be afraid to ask the proctor for clarification if a question is unclear. The proctor is there to help and can provide guidance on the meaning of the question. Take breaks during the exam to stretch and relax. This will help to stay focused and avoid fatigue. If time runs out before all questions are answered, don't panic. Fill in the remaining answers with educated guesses. After the exam, review the results and identify areas where more study is needed. This will help to prepare for future exams. Keep up with continuing education requirements to maintain your electrical inspector certification. Continuing education courses will keep you updated on the latest changes to the National Electrical Code and other relevant codes and standards. Consider joining the International Association of Electrical Inspectors, or IE. The IE is a professional organization for electrical inspectors. It offers training, certification, and networking opportunities. The National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA, is a non-profit organization that develops codes and standards for fire prevention. The NFPA publishes the National Electrical Code and other important documents. Use available resources, such as online calculators and reference materials, to help solve complex problems. These resources can save time and ensure accuracy. Double-check calculations and measurements to avoid errors. Small errors can lead to incorrect answers. Stay calm and confident during the exam. Believe in your abilities and trust your knowledge. By following these study tips and test-taking strategies, the chances of passing the electrical inspector exam are increased. Remember to focus on the key areas of the National Electrical Code and the Wisconsin Uniform Dwelling Code, practice with sample questions, and manage time effectively during the exam. Success in the electrical inspector exam will lead to a rewarding career in ensuring electrical safety in residential dwellings.